few years back, I'd started training to do a marathon, and I kept tripping myself up. I was running with a friend who was training with me, and I almost fell in one point, and fell on my knees, fell on my face. And I said, I can't. Why am I tripping myself up? I can't understand what's happening here. But shook it off and eventually kind of stopped. And didn't do the marathon because I was worried I would trip and fall. Not that I'd signed up or anything. I mean, it was just a pipe dream I had to start training for one. And then also, I'd say in the past couple of years, I found it a bit more difficult to hold my bladder. Not maybe being able to, needing the toilet sooner than I used to be able to do. But then those were something I'd, kind of put to one side, didn't think much about them. But then March of last year, I started having these bouts of lightheadedness, and sort of the room sort of waking up in the middle of the night and the room was spinning. Not to the extent of vertigo, but just a bit of something's not right here. So I had it for about a week and a half. And then eventually I went to see my GP, because it came to when I was crossing the road, I had to sort of shut my eyes, look, and then do that without the place sort of spinning a little bit. And I thought, okay, if I can't cross the road properly, something's up here. And the GP had a look in my ear, etc. And I had an ear infection. So we thought, okay, I had some spray, we'll clear the infection up and then it'll be okay. But then the infection cleared in my ear and I still had this quite muted lightheadedness. And then about a week later, I started feeling this pressure around my brain, almost as though it was in a vice. I've been extremely fortunate in the fact that I haven't had any pain during the whole time I've had since diagnosis and treatment. But, it sounds painful, but it wasn't. It's just this pressure around my brain that would, it would start. And then for about 3 seconds, it occurred. And then after that 3 seconds, my speech started to become a bit more slurred. And then 2 seconds later, it would all stop and I was normal. I was talking to you like I'm talking to you now. And then over a couple of weeks, they became more frequent and the speech element became a bit more slurred, almost as if I was drunk, just a little bit like that. And then it went back to normal. So it was strange, but it was one of those things which really wasn't obvious to people, but I could feel it and I knew something wasn't quite right. So people were saying, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. But you know your own body. And there's something not quite right here. And as you mentioned previously, I work on S4C on their magazine programs, live television. So filming out on location was okay. So if it happened, I could kind of just shake it off. But when it came to live TV, where every second counts with someone shouting in your ear and you're trying to get your words out quickly, it came to a point where in one program, I slurred quite a bit during an end link of something. And I thought, okay. Although it wasn't very obvious to everyone else, it was obvious to me.
The main thing for me, which remains to this day, was numb feet, heavy leaden legs, and unsteadiness, and kind of an inability to walk terribly far, or certainly to stand up for long. And at the time, I was very active. So when I was walking, which I did a lot, I didn't have a car at that point. I would find that my legs would drag, and within a few minutes, my eyesight would get blurry. I guess that was the fatigue kicking in.